What is going on, Lakers fam? This is your boy Jay Lake, bringing you Lakers all day, all the time. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and click that like and subscribe button down below. It would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for coming on, by the way.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate it. So that was a horrible loss. It was really frustrating when I was watching this game because it felt like, every time we had a little light at the end of the tunnel, it was stomped out. Um, in that first half, it seemed like AD came out firing, but he kind of faded away a bit. There was no aggression there. In that second quarter, we were down as much as 17 points, but it looked like we are making a run because by the time halftime came, we were down by 9. Then in the third quarter, we were only down by 1 point. But after that, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, the Lakers were. It was exciting, at least to begin with. AD started playing well. The team was still in it, even though like Memphis had made multiple runs where they would build the lead and then the Lakers would crawl back in. That third quarter, when they got it down to one, definitely exciting. D'Lo hit a couple big threes, but they sub out AD and they go on that 9-0 run. They put him back in, but it was just too late.
Yeah, typical, Laker fashion, roller coaster of a game. To give your hopes, to get them high and take it away from you. When they were going up and down with the game, you follow the Lakers. Okay, they could scrap down and cut the lead down to like 9.5. Get under 10. Third quarter, they get down to 1 point, and now you're thinking, all right, defense locked, start making some shots. We could pull this. We could pull this one out in the series. Get the rest that LeBron really needs and AD to, you know, make sure his body heals for the next series. But no, it's just after that, it just all went downhill. They couldn't score. They took AD out, went to that rotation that Ham does that just doesn't work. And I feel Ham didn't call a great game, to be honest. And the team just didn't show up. Like the role players weren't there, and it was just after that 1 point and Grizzlies made the run. It was just I kind of knew it was over. There was no way the Lakers were going to come back in the fourth.
Yeah, I was frustrating watching LBJ. I mean, during that first half, those 5 turnovers, I was like, what's going on? Lots settled for lots of outside jump shots, stopped driving. Then that kind of point in the third quarter where Morant jumped over him and there was no lift whatsoever on his jump and just threw it in, almost dunked on him. I was like, oh, take LBJ out. I mean, what is he? Why is he still in there? Because it doesn't seem like he wants to play tonight. Because he had
Well, he's tired. I
yeah,
mean,
45 minutes that
yeah,
previous game.
yeah.
Yeah, LeBron definitely looked old out there. He couldn't, drive the way he was. He couldn't get past guys. He couldn't uh, knock down jumpers. He's really been terrible from three-pointer in this series. Um, it was not a good night for LeBron when AD had it. Hopefully they can both get it together on the same night.
Yeah, I mean, he's 38. I mean, he's played his whole career. He's tired, and you kind of notice when he's tired like that, he plays that way. He'll take more jumpers. He doesn't have the legs anymore, so his shots off, right? And he takes plays off on defense, or on offense too. He'll stay on the corner, and that the other role player is trying to run the offense. He was tired of this game. I think he was saving his energy to possibly, if the Lakers were within striking distance in the fourth, he would pull through and give it one last effort to kind of win the game. But like I said, I guess they kind of knew once they were not going to come back, he was going to rest. I said, and I think now at 38, he can recover like within a day, right? So you get 1 day rest, the next day, Tuesday later you're playing a game. He needs probably 2 days rest now, right? He has no legs, and so
Yeah,
hopefully for the next game, Game 6 at home, the legs will be back underneath him. The role players will step up, and we'll finish it out.
actually, yeah, you make a good point because they traveled from west to east, so they actually played earlier than they normally would, and that travel time really affects your body. So um, it was a very short turnaround for LeBron, and hopefully them coming back over here to LA, that'll help them get some more rest, maybe some home cooking, some, go to the hyperbolic chamber, get some rest, be ready for game 5 or game 6 on Saturday or Friday.
Yeah, right. I think like when I was in my 20s, every time I get on plane, no problem, fall right asleep, have no jet lag, no problem. Now it's like it kind of affects me more. It's like I feel that pressure. Sometimes I get ringing in my ears, and yeah, it affects my body more. I thought so. I thought Bees was bad from the 3 point line. He's 70% in the playoffs. LeBron James 3 out of 28. That's 11% from the three. I mean, that's really not going to cut it because, I mean, in the past, whenever I watch LeBron James, like it doesn't matter if it's the playoffs or like regular season, but he'll usually like have that look about him. He'll start dribbling and then all of a sudden he'll look down and then he'll shoot it over big man. Anytime like a big man's on him, and then right after he makes that, the next play down, he'll kind of drive past them or he'll freight train in. And I didn't see any of that this game. And I was like, all right, yeah, I don't think he got what it takes to go tonight.
Yeah, LeBron has that. Like, he has a signature look when he's gonna shoot a three. You can always tell he wants to shoot a three. He'll slow down, he'll dribble, and he'll look at the ball real quick, and he'll snatch it up and shoot. I've seen it so many times that he's done that. I honestly, LeBron is a 3 point shooter. Honestly, if he makes them, in my opinion, it's bonuses. I never thought he was a great 3 point shooter or even a good one. He had a couple of years in his career where he was, I think Albert, you mentioned respectable. Yeah, okay. I mean, good. He's been in the league so long, he should get better as a 3 point shooter. Remember, coming to the league, he was not a good 3 point shooter. He's a driver. He's probably the best driver to ever play in the game, top two. And so his shot's been, it's not consistent to me as a 3 point shooter. When he's hot, yeah, he'll put him down. But if he was making threes, to me, that's just a bonus. And Beasley's in the 4 threes. So if he's not making threes, sit on the bench.
Yeah, I think the Lakers had a lot of problems in this game guarding John Morant. And since Beasley wasn't really helping them out in that department, he can't defend very well, and he's not knocking down his threes. I thought it was a night maybe Lonnie Walker should get more minutes. His athleticism maybe can bother, keep up with John Morant, but Lonnie just got garbage time.
All right, so Rui Hachimura. So 21 minutes tonight, 9 points, 2 rebounds. What do you think is going on? Why do you think Ham's cutting his minutes? Is he not doing well? Is he struggling? I mean, what? Why? What?
I really don't know what's going on. I don't know why he cut his minutes. I gotta believe that it was the 3 guard lineup with him and LeBron playing the front court role, and maybe Ham wanting to throw in AD a little bit more, or I have no idea why he even played Wendy and Gabriel in the front court. I think they were all 3 of them were on the court at the same time, but I just don't understand that rotation choice. If we're going to see somebody else, I would like to have seen Mo Bamba, especially when you're down that much. It's maybe time to like just experiment with the lineup. But Ham to me was the biggest contributor to this loss tonight.
Yep, I agree with you on that. Ham did not call a good game as a coach. He made the wrong choices on rotations and lineups, it seemed like. And Hachimura's minutes, I think there were 21 for this past game. 21 minutes. I would like to see a little bit more minutes out of him because he didn't play bad. He shot what 50% field goals, right? Four for
Yeah.
eight and hit 1 3. He's he grabbed 2 boards. I want to see more minutes out of him. I guess that I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know what's going on in Ham's head right now. Maybe the first year head coach in the postseason, is getting to him. The lack of experience is now showing. You know, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully things change the next game if they want to close out, and they should close the game out in Game 6. You don't want to go back to Memphis in Game 7. You know,
Yeah.
so,
So there was quite a bit of gripes tonight. What do you guys got?
I mean, the biggest gripe was rotations and the coach. The refs again. There were some weird calls. I mean, but I can go into the refs every game. But to me, it was the coach on our end. The rotations were my biggest gripes, for sure.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you on that, Albert. On Ham, just calling the way he called the game, maybe not calling a timeout when he should have, all this stuff. And I'm gonna pick on AD a little bit. I'm tired of seeing him, posting these little dudes up and fading away. I need to see him back his body down to the basket and start slamming it down, show his dominance. Yes, he had, I think it was a quiet 31 points, to be honest. He had a lot of boards. I give him that. I think it was 19 for that game, which is good. It's expected. But I just feel like they don't fear Anthony Davis. They don't really see him as, I don't know, like
I
it's
mean,
weird. Like,
he's a defensive presence against them, but I think in this game they had made an adjustment. I saw John Morant literally going away from AD. He would drive, let drive by his opponent and then pull up away from AD, making sure not to get deep enough for AD to affect his shot. So, I think he's still a presence defensively, but
mhm.
offensively, yeah, I mean, he's not as strong as you would like him to be. Like he should be in the 40s, um, maybe have a big game in the 50s in one of these games. But we've
Yeah,
yet to see that.
he's fading away too much. He's not showing his strength. I'm not sure because if his hips are bothering him, if his body's fragile still. I have no idea, but you have to see him just dominate in the paint and show his strength instead of finessing these guys that are smaller than him, right? And should be able to go over the top on them very easily. So that's my gripe, right there.
Yeah, I think my gripes is split between two. I watched a lot of LBJ and AD kind of switch off and stand in the corner and take themselves completely off the play. Already, whenever LBJ is out on the 3 point line, they just kind of sag off on them. That's one defender. Vando, if he's playing with Vando is on the inside. There's another defender that sags off on him. That's all the defenders needed to clog the paint, and there's no drives whatsoever for AD or anybody else that needs to drive and kick. My second
Yeah, I
one,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, to jump on that, I mean, like the Lakers are really not a great 3 point shooting team. Like they're once they, it seems like they have to go through that 3 guard lineup just so that they can get some more 3 point shooters out there. So it's a little difficult to take Vando out when he has to guard John Morant, but um, it, if they take him out, then who's going to come in? It's another guard, maybe.
Yeah, and when a team, the Lakers playing a team that is just it's hot, everything's falling for that team like Memphis was hitting everything, and again defensively they were going under the screen instead of over the screen, so you got to make that adjustment. You got to go over the screen to at least contest a 3 point shot, something like going under. It really one another gripe actually. Now that I think about it, but if a team is on fire against the Lakers, it's hard for Lakers to win. Like, yeah, they're a great defensive team, but if the other team is making shots, we don't have that firepower to come back. It's hard. It's very difficult. I won't say it's impossible. This is very difficult when the other team's just hitting everything and they're feeling it. We don't have anybody on the Lakers to offset that shooting, like match a 3 for 3. Sometimes you have a team you see that. Uh, Beasley was that guy, but he's just not living up to his role.
yeah. My other gripe would be basically during that last quarter, it was 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. He pulled the LBJ off and then waved the white flag. I don't know in the history of any NBA playoffs where a coach would actually wave the white flag in the fourth quarter, especially when we're down by I think 14 or 15 points at that time. That really ticked me off because after that game, I watched the Heat game. They were down by 16 in that fourth quarter, and they didn't pull any of their stars. They didn't wave the white flag. What the heck is that? And then so what happens with the Heat and Giannis? They bounced the Bucks from the first round. I mean, that's crazy, right? First seed, eighth seed. We're the second seed versus the seventh seed. So that really ticked me off. I mean, I get it that LBJ wasn't doing well and you're going to pull him, but if you're going to do that, you might as well do it during the third quarter when jaw dunked over him because that would give our bench players a lot more time to get in the rhythm and actually give us a chance than what he did.
Yeah, I mean the rotations were not very good. I mean, I think he was trying to get LeBron out and maybe get a little rest and hope that they can cut it down to 9 and then throw him back in there. And if not, then game over. But still, yeah, the rotation choices were not good. And I think I heard or I saw a tweet that said that uh, that Darvin Ham had a coaches meeting today, and it was based on rotations and how they can make it more efficient and who they could bring in. So maybe we see something different from Ham in Game 6. Maybe we see a little bit of Bamba. Maybe we see a little more Lonnie. I mean, Troy Brown Jr. hasn't done much in this series. Malik Beasley hasn't done much in this series. So, maybe they make some rotational changes, but I am definitely worried. He said that he might increase some minutes for some guys. So that's probably AD. And if that's the case, then we may not see Mo Bamba, but we'll see. We'll see how he adjusts. He's still learning a little bit. His first year coach. And it's something that we definitely, as Lakers fans, knew that this was going to be a question mark for sure about this team was, how Ham was going to handle this.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to announce you having a coaches meeting for rotations, I thought that was given. And what do they do on the day off? Are they not preparing? Like, come on. Ham
Well, it
needs to
wasn't
be,
really announced, but it was definitely a reporter reported that,
that should
inside
be an
Lakers
everyday
facility.
routine job for, any NBA coach, especially in the playoffs. There's no days off when you're a coach. You're constantly going to the drawing board. You're looking at rotations, you're looking at film and, see what works, see what doesn't. And I get it. He's gonna make changes, but hopefully these changes are not for the worse. Okay, like I said, we don't want to go to back to Memphis for Game 7, and so like I said, I had a feeling the Lakers were going to lose. LBJ was tired, and I just feel like they're just going to take that L, Game 5. Maybe maybe the NBA wanted more TV revenue. Lakers on a Friday night. Who knows? We don't know. We're just speculating here. But hey, shout out to Jimmy Buckets for defeating the Milwaukee Bucks. That's an 8 seed, beating a number 1 seed. That's the third time that's happened. I remember when the Warriors beat the number 1 seed Dallas Mavericks,
Yeah, Baron Davis.
2005, Baron Davis, I think, or
Yeah.
yeah, I can't remember what year. It might be '05, '06. I can't remember, but I remember that. That was a big deal. So, like I said, Jimmy, you see him, he could really take over a game. You see his stats throughout the series. What he did was impressive. Um, the stats you see is what I was expecting from AD, to be honest, right? I mean, that's what I was expecting. Maybe not a 50. I mean, AD could definitely do that, but get into the 40s. So you can see what happens when a guy takes over and has a decent team surrounding him and they're playing for each other. You beat a number 1 seed. And the Lakers, the 7th seed, they have the star power. They have decent role players. So they could easily take out this number 2 seed Memphis Grizzlies. So hopefully they do it on Friday for Game 6.
Yeah, I was texting you guys during that third quarter too. I was like, "What is Chris Gent doing?" Their assistant coach. I think he might be the lead assistant coach, but he needs to step up and slap Darvin Hand on the side of his head. And it's like, "What are you doing? This is what we should be doing."
Yeah, it is kind of crazy that Darvin Ham doesn't have anybody else like talking to him during the game, making sure that, the right moves are being made. I guess Chris Jen, he's there. I've seen him talking in the game to a lot of the players, yelling at the bench, but just not sure what's going on with that whole coaching staff.
Are you saying there's some trouble?
No, I'm not saying there's trouble in the coaching staff. Just don't know the dynamics of like what's going on there and who's making these decisions
Yeah, I mean, you have
and
LeBron as
who's
the
helping him.
coach, and you have other coaches. It's kind of tough because like, LeBron's the coach in the court. Let's be
Well,
real.
yeah, he's the coach
Yeah,
on the court for sure.
yeah, he
He's
is.
yeah.
So our SMH player of the game, who you guys got?
Uh, this one is tough. I mean, I could go with LeBron, who just didn't come with
That's
it.
not fair. He's
I know.
retired.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
retired.
I'm just making my point. I could go
Yeah.
with him, but for me, I'm gonna go Dennis Schroeder. 19 minutes. That's sixth highest on the team. He went minus 18, 0 points. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 0 points. Pretty much zeros everywhere except the one steal and the one assist and the one rebound was not effective. He was just running around out there. Um, yeah, I mean he played the most minutes off the bench besides Rui. So for me, it was Dennis Schroeder just didn't do enough.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I feel bad for going for saying this guy's name. Like I kind of understand how he's feeling a little bit. But Beasley though, right? I mean, Ham is giving him minutes if he believes in him, or he's gonna need him sooner or later to start hitting shots, and he's just not delivering. He's just not. And it's like, dude, I get it. You're a professional. Even professionals go into slumps, and I think we all agree this is a pretty big slump for Beasley, right? Especially when his bread and butter is making those 3-point shots. He's a marksman out there, and as a professional, when you're excellent at one thing, you're expected to go out there and do it. Even though with limited minutes, possibly that's just roll the dice you have, right? It's cards, the hands of cards you play with. But like he's in a slump, right? He has like the yips. You kind of forget how to shoot. He just needs to have this one game where he just goes off and things will turn for him. But right now, it's just like Ham's giving you all the choices, all the opportunities to prove yourself, and you're just not delivering. So my SMH is Beasley.
Yep, those are two pretty good ones, and you stole mine, Schroeder, but I'll go with somebody else. So before we said that, every time we lose a game, we're not going to go with the six man, we're not going to go with the game ball, and we're just going to do our SMH and our drive. If I did have a six man, my six man would probably be Dylan Brooks, because like I feel like he needs to be on the floor at all times because
Yeah,
he's our point getter for the Lakers team. But
yeah.
my SMH player would probably be Troy Brown. I don't know what's going on with him in these playoffs. I said it before. The playoffs kind of separate men from boys, and I don't think he's ready for the big minutes, the big spotlight, because he's been choking most of the playoff series. Tonight, Troy
Ye-
Brown was 12 minutes, 0 points, and 4 rebounds. So big goose egg right there with Schroeder.
Yeah, I mean minus 26. That's worst on the team. Um,
Hmm.
I did see him play defense and rotate and stuff like that, but it's just he's not delivering. I don't know if what Snoop Dogg said about him, you know, needing to get in the gym and make threes hurt him or whatever, but yeah, he's just not doing anything. Just like Beasley, and you know, it's a shame because
He should be in the gym.
he was having a good end to the season, but just not doing well in this playoffs right now.
Yeah, I mean minutes are so like so precious for players, in the playoffs. It's always known where rotations get cut, minutes get cut in the postseason. So every minute you play really matters. It's that more intense. That's more enhanced for you to perform and pressure to perform for those like certain minutes. And I think that's what getting to these guys, right? We mentioned Troy Brown, Beasley, all that stuff, and it seems like it's just getting to them. It really is. They just need to let go and do their thing when they get a chance to play to show up.
So game six at home in the crypt. What kind of adjustments do you think we need to make?
I think they have to change a couple of the rotation players. They don't have to go crazy and like change the whole lineup because I think that's overcoaching. But I do think you need to get a look at maybe Mo Bamba or a little bit more of Lonnie Walker instead of Malik Beasley. Darvin Ham may play more guys, more minutes. I don't know if that's going to help, but they definitely need to shore up some of the lineup choices. So I hope the Darvin Ham is ready for that, and for sure call timeouts when it's needed.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, game six, I'm expecting the role players to play a little better. Some players making more minutes. that like, Hachimura possibly. And I'm expecting LeBron to set the tone, like he did in Game 4. Set the tone, because once he sets the tone, the team follows. And so it's going to help the role players as well when he's aggressive, especially coming out of the gates in the first quarter. So I hope he gets his legs back underneath him, close it out, get some rest. Hopefully the Kings Warriors go to 7 games, so they could tire, whoever they're going to play. I think it's the Warriors, but just tire them out. And like I said, I think it's all going to be against LeBron, to set the tone early, and they'll win. AD, I mean, he's been inconsistent up and down every game. So as this one, he had 31 points last game, so we're expecting 16 points for Game 6.
No, I'm hoping that he
Oh,
comes
we're
out.
hoping different. We're
Yeah,
hoping different, but
Mhm.
you see the series and the pattern.
yeah.
I'm just saying, I hope that's not. But hopefully, if LeBron steps up, AD follows, the role player follows. Even Ham will coach a better game if LeBron sets the tone early. You know, so that's why I'm expecting Game 6.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we need to contain Brooks. I mean, not Brooks, but we need to contain Bane because he's been the bane of the Lakers.
Bane should not be scoring this much. This is
They
ridiculous.
need to
I
throw some
mean,
more length on him. More Troy Brown, more
they
LBJ, where
need
you
to.
kind of switch off the looks on that he's getting because
They
whatever
just
we're
need to
doing.
stop going under the screen. Go on top of the screen. This is ridiculous. I get it. You're afraid for John Morant over the screen. He'll just burn you. I get that. But just go over the screen. Who cares? Just Diva's gonna help. AD will help. LeBron will help out. Hopefully. But yeah. I mean, when it comes to that, they go over the screen. These role players like Bane and these guys should not be doing this. I mean, come on. Let's step it up.
Yeah, we've been doing decent job on trip last game, so let's keep that up. And I feel that for Morant, he's going to get his points, but we did okay on Morant as well. We need to go away from that three-guard lineup. Every time AD goes out, I do not want LBJ and Rui being holding down the fort in the middle. We need Mo Bamba in there or somebody else, but don't do that three-man lineup because that's junk, and that infuriates me every time I see it.
Yeah, not a good lineup. It's really hurt us a lot in this series. Unless unless Schroeder has it going, D'Lo has it going, and Reeves has it going, they shouldn't all three be out there.
Yeah, I agree. Mo Bamba, maybe he comes and saves us. Game 6.
All right, Lakers fam, you heard it here first. So 7:30, we will see you next game. Do you guys think that we'll be able to close out at home, or are we going to have to go to Game 7 in Memphis? Leave your comments down below. And again, thank you, both of you, for coming on tonight.
And thanks for having us.
Yeah, Travis, Jeff. Take care.